SportsCenter.com, Valley View, Cleveland.
And we are back here on.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So What's the Catch? It is Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and you know what that means. So around the table today, I am Kramer, and we also have...
AJ.
It's James here as always.
Of course, James, Trivia Master.
We got
And Josh.
And in the box...
We got here in the Berserk box and now Lifton boxes, Chirk Berserk.
Oh, you're lifting in there now?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Chirk Berserk got himself a job where he's moving some boxes.
Ah, gotcha.
Are you a driver or are you working in a warehouse? 'Cause if you're my driver delivering my package and it's late, we have a problem.
We also just started the live stream on Unger to the Max. A little late, but still, we're good.
Well, since you put it out there, so you're getting a new job at, what is it, UPS?
FedEx.
Oh, FedEx. So what can Brown do for you? That's...
No, wouldn't it be what can Chirk do for you?
Yeah, what can Chirk...
So I'm going to blame all of my late package deliveries on you now?
Yeah.
It's your fault. Even if it doesn't even come from FedEx, it's your fault.
Just everything.
I think might be working in, like, hazmat.
Hazmat?
Whatever. All of it's your fault.
Well, all right then. That's interesting.
It's all your fault, always your fault.
All right.
So what? I don't even know what we're talking about.
So the first segment is the NCAA and the Supreme Court. This is a subject you wanted to talk about, isn't that right?
Yeah, well, this is a very big story that came out. The Supreme Court unanimously sides with former college players in the dispute with the NCAA about compensation, which means the amateurism argument that they've been using, which has been very flimsy at best for about 30 plus years now, it's going to be coming to an end. Which means at some point, college players who have been, given the excuse of, well, you get dorm and like the one trip somewhere and you get some free books. That's no longer going to be the case. College players are going to be able to make their own money and using their own likeness and all that other stuff. And that's about time, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, what does this decision actually do? Like, does this just pave the way for them to eventually maybe get compensated, or?
So one of the things that was stated in there was that if this was any other industry in the way that the NCAA runs things, they would be hit with antitrust lawsuits by the way they operate.
Right.
So taking that step closer towards kind of disassembling this entire system that's been put together is going to help make it so at some point, not immediately, but at some point, players will be able to actually get compensated without being penalized for doing so.
So, I know that the NCAA isn't the NCAA football video game coming back?
It's supposed to be in a couple of years.
So do you think that this ruling paves the way for their actual names to appear in the game?
So the problem with that is that a lot of those things have to do with unions. And so when you play Madden or MLB The Show or NBA 2K, you always see the Players Association or the union logo on there.
Yeah,
right?
I've never actually noticed that.
You'll see that on there.
I guess I need to look more closely.
And that also applies to coaches as well. So in the past, when players who are not in the union appear in the video game, they're given a generic name. Same thing with coaches.
Right.
So back in the day, LeVar Arrington wasn't in it. It was a generic linebacker name.
Right.
And Bill Belichick isn't it, so it just says New England coach.
Bill Parcells was not in it either.
He wasn't in it either.
Wait, what was it with that one? I didn't understand that
They're
one.
not part of the coaches union.
Some of the arenas in NBA 2K are just generic. Like, it's just called Boston Celtics Arena.
Yeah, why did they do that? I do see that in 2K a lot.
It all comes down to money, one way or another.
It comes down to that. Sometimes the issue happens to be there's a name change of the arena with sponsorship. They don't have the right amount of time to fix it or redo all the graphics and all the branding, so it's just simpler to do it as generic name.
Yeah.
Good old Ronnie
But
would do something like that.
the only pushback I would say is if you're gonna pay college athletes, then why not pay actors and actresses who perform shows at college or whatever? Because here's my thing. Yes, the actors and actresses aren't necessarily lifting weights and going out on the football field or whatever, but think about it. I've done musicals throughout my college career in high school, and you had to, go to rehearsal, put on costumes, prepare lines. You had to learn your songs, learn your dances. you have to put in a significant amount of hours.
Do you want to know a secret?
What is that?
They're not bringing in money. Like,
Well, that's not what I was going to go to, but that's also something. But the other secret is that anyone who has a scholarship for anything non-athletic related can go out and do something with their own likeness and get paid for it. An athlete can't do that. It's a penalty underneath the NCAA bylaws for athletics and the facade of amateurism.
A lot of people's tuition dollars go into. Yeah.
I just thought that was an important thing to bring up.
So yeah, I mean
Athletic.
that's fair, but again, like if you're going to theater school or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're an actor, an aspire actor, you can go get a job in a play and get paid for that job. But if I'm an athlete, I can't go show up somewhere and sign some autographs and get paid for it.
Right.
Or I can't go and be like endorse, local restaurant or local oil change place
Or car.
or car place and get penalized for it. That's the problem.
Right.
You
There's
can't
two
do-
sides
you
to
can't
it.
do a Mr. Hero commercial.
My favorite class back in high school was government. I like breaking things down like this. So just looking at the actual opinion that they gave, there was, they all agreed that they ruled against the NCAA, but then there was a main opinion wrote by Neil Gorsh, and then Brett Kavanaugh wrote the other
Kavanaugh,
opinion,
yeah.
and the rest of the judges wouldn't sign off on it. It was definitely the most extreme of them, but just his argument was exactly what you said, that there's textbook antitrust problems, it's price-fixing labor. I mean, it just spells it right out, so
Yeah.
it's exactly what you said.
And not to get too deep into politics conversation, but the fact that Brett Kavanaugh's on the right side of this, just a bit surprising.
Yeah, that's
right?
why I had to reread it, because you normally see that name for bad things, but
Yeah, that's a very surprising thing. But all I will say is there's two sides to every coin. So there's always going to be a positive side and a negative side.
What's the negative side to players getting money?
Can't think of one right now, but
the NCAA is the only
is the
people that
negative
think there's a negative side to
they're
that.
already, most of them are already getting paid anyway. But
Yeah.
People's
No.
tuition dollars.
I'm just
do
saying
it
in
legally.
I'm just saying in general.
It's one of those situations that's set up to benefit very few people, and a very few people want it to stay that way,
Yeah.
but they hold an inordinate amount of power, so it's hard to make that change without government involvement, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah. Yeah.
Word.
Did you really just say word?
I really did.
Yeah, why not?
Tuition dollars
I would,
are going into the athletic equipment, not the players.
Yeah, so I think it would be. I mean, you see some of these like remodels of places, of the weight rooms
Yeah.
and stuff. They have these
And the
world-class training facilities. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do all this and pretend like you don't got money to compensate your players?
So then,
Oh.
yeah, and then the rest of the colleges get like imbalanced.
Like, I get that. I understand that different sports bring in different amounts of money, different amounts of income. Like the amount of money brought in by the football programs is not going to equal the same amount brought in by baseball or gymnastics or tennis. Okay?
Right, because some
So-
schools are more well known for certain
So
sports
I
programs.
get that there's a different balance, and that's part of the deeper issue when it comes to compensating athletes at college, but there's a way to figure it out, and an easier way to figure it out is just allow these players to go make a name and make their own money by themselves, because they might not be something you can go on ESPN and sell jerseys and t-shirts, but that person can go somewhere, use their likeness, use their own fame that they've worked on building, and make money that way. So even if it's not coming directly from the school, I think that's a way that they could do it.
I would definitely say like basketball had to do like a big factor in this, because they lose a lot of like top athletes to go overseas or now the G League. So
or going straight to the NBA.
right, so I feel like that had to be like a big factor. They didn't want to lose any more of that star talent that people tune in to watch that brings in their money.
James, before we go right to break, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think in colleges? I forgot the question. We gotta go. Take a quick
We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Maybe Chirk will remember the question and hit me with it before we start segment 2. But stay tuned here on the So What's the Catch?
You don't have to wait for politicians to make Ohio a safer place for your kids. You don't have to wait for anybody. All you have to do is keep your eyes open and remember that bad railroad crossings kill good drivers. When you see a dangerous crossing or crossing signals that aren't working, go to angelsontrack.org and report it. So far, 28 dangerous crossings have had gates installed because of those reports, making Ohio a safer place for kids like yours. Sponsored by Angels on Track, aired by the OAB and this station.
Packers,
Vikings,
Red State,
Blue State.
We come from different places.
Uptown,
Downtown.
We come to different conclusions.
half empty,
Half full.
But no matter how different we are, we're all connected, and we can all make a difference. That's why United Way brings people, expertise, and resources together to improve the education, income, and health of our communities, the building blocks for a better life. When we live united, our efforts, magnified by others, add up to real change. Children succeed in school, families gain financial stability, the health of our neighbors improves, and suddenly, so do our communities. But real change won't happen without you.
Live united.
So let's look beyond our differences.
Live united.
One by one, let's make a difference. Let's reach out a hand to one and influence the condition of all.
Live united.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Sign up today at liveunited.org. Brought to you.
We are back here on So What's the Catch?
I remember the question.
Oh, the question. Okay, hit me.
All right, so what would be a counter argument to the people, well, they got college paid for, or that they got like free room and board or whatever? What would be a good counter argument to that?
I think I already said it, that the fact that people that get scholarships to do other things go make money and not be penalized.
And beyond that, the amount of work they put in is so...
It's so much greater than
what that would
the room and
the
board
equivalent of
and
that.
right.
the food they get during the time they're there, because there are students that come from not great areas and don't have money, and when the season's over and they have to go home, they don't have money to eat.
Yeah,
That's a huge
I
problem.
was just wondering, yeah, that's a great response to those people who are like jerks like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So we're gonna dive into the NBA right here, and what a finish for the Phoenix Suns, the team of destiny. Let's go.
I want the Suns to win the title.
Yeah.
I had the Suns winning the title.
No, you didn't.
I said I had them now. I said before it
That's
was obviously the
bandwagon.
Lakers.
Oh, so now you're getting on this Phoenix Suns bandwagon.
Yes,
Welcome to the show.
How do you feel about
say no? This team is good. Like it's something fun to watch.
Mikal Bridges?
Of course, he brings up Mikal. Segment 2, Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, I started this with the Suns.
My boy.
Is he Berserker of the Week? We can do that already? Let's just get this out of the way.
He actually is not the.
Oh, okay. But
That's
a
for
first.
how about that game-ending dunk to DeAndre Ayton?
Very well executed.
DeAndre Ayton.
So the problem I had with the game itself was with the replays, because on the replay that set up the game-winning dunk, Phoenix didn't have a timeout, so that the replay review, which I think it was triggered by an out-of-bounds play, gave Monty Williams and the Suns a free timeout.
Just how it goes.
So
Can I say he was kind of robbed of Coach of the Year?
yeah.
Yes,
He was.
I'm on you with you on that.
All
AJ.
right.
So-
Monty Williams,
you can.
Coach of the Year.
So my only gripe is I think they need to change that rule. Other than that, it was a fantastic game.
So hear me out. Let me explain yourself, because they did a replay.
Right.
The ball was out of bounds. It's a dead ball situation. Why are they getting penalized for something that's the process of the game?
Here's the thing. Phoenix did not have any timeouts.
Okay.
So why should they be awarded a free timeout?
Okay, even if they had timeouts, they're still within a stoppage and play.
Yeah, but that's different, because
How is that different? It's the same process. It's just, did they have a timeout? They didn't have a timeout. The fact that they're reviewing something is process of the game, and the fact that it's a playoff game means that they need to do it.
I wanted to ask you something.
What? Do you remember this time?
They're going to remember.
yeah, are you going to remember the question this time, Churk?
The question was, what do I think about the Suns and how they're? Oh, it was about yesterday the game-winning dunk.
Yeah.
If it was there on time or not. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I believe it was there on time.
What?
That's not a question.
That was a statement. That was definitely not a question.
Oh,
Always keep us on our toes, Chuck.
But I was about
boy.
to say, when you were talking about process and trust, do you think the Sixers are going to have to process the trust?
We didn't get that yet.
We're not there yet. We got Sixers talk later, but we're still talking about the Suns right now.
All right.
And
Still Suns talk.
did you? I know you don't love First Take.
No, I don't.
But Stephen A. Smith said Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant.
They put these.
I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. Stephen A. Smith's overrated.
Yes.
I really can't stand the dude. But anyway, I also can't stand basketball, so I'm probably going to be quiet the rest of this segment. But it does look like this was a really close game. Like, just by looking at the score, 104 to 103.
Yeah.
It looks exciting, at least.
And that's what you want in playoff basketball.
I got to
I mean, Paul George is playoff P's, just not it, not clutch at all.
He missed 2 free throws at the end.
Yeah,
How
like Ben Simmons.
No, but do you think
Ben Simmons is worse.
you got to give PG credit that he took him there?
I don't want to give
that.
PG the full credit because did you not?
Did he?
Because
Did he take him there?
dude,
How did he win those last 2 games?
Chirk,
I don't think he's great.
Man.
but-
Chirk. I asked.
They had an unsaving hero and man, like
Yep.
he really bought out against the Jazz, and then that. Yeah, it's not him.
Yeah, I asked you to go back and rewatch Game 6. Was it Paul George taking the league by or the game by storm in the second half? It was Terrence Mann.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's all good, man.
You're good.
So,
But what are your thoughts on Stephen A. saying Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant?
Just
too early.
They said that about Andrew Wiggins. I remember that.
I don't remember that.
They said it. He had a turnaround jumper, Kobe style, and then they said to him, "This is the next."
of course, you remember something Andrew Wiggins related. Let's let Devin Booker win a title first. Then we can start doing the comparisons with some of the all-time.
I would say I don't think he's Kobe.
Yeah, I don't think.
As long as
I'm not-
accolades, but game wise, he has some Kobe in
Right.
him. Just because I feel like he just modeled his game down.
I don't think he was saying that Devin Booker is going to be better than Kobe.
Yeah.
I think he was just trying to say he's the next version of him. He was saying the same type of thing about Donovan Mitchell, the guard for the Utah Jazz. Not that he's the next Kobe.
I see him more as a Wade.
Yeah, that's it. He was saying Donovan Mitchell is Dwayne Wade 2.0.
Yeah,
You agree with that?
I see that.
I hate doing comparisons like this because they're completely pointless. They really
the
are.
thing, I just want to say though, yeah, you're right about that, James. Every single individual player is unique and has their own unique style. So,
I wasn't.
I think it's just like everyone is unique.
I agree with you, Chirk.
Every player is unique.
I wasn't gonna say this, but since you went there, I was wondering. I don't really understand when they say somebody models their game after somebody else because
Basically, you just watch them a lot, so you kind of steal their moves.
Yeah. Or
that
take
turnaround.
elements of their game.
Yeah.
I guess it's not something you hear a lot in other sports.
Not really.
Yeah. Football, you don't really hear it.
I model half a player. It's
Baseball a little bit, batting stance, throwing motion. That's about it.
Okay, so it's kind of similar to baseball and batting stance. Okay, that makes sense.
Hockey, that it gets thrown out a little bit, but not nearly as much.
I hear it a little bit in boxing, but
that's fair.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
the jab like Ali. But that's about it.
But which game 7 do you want to talk about?
Let's start with the Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets being a complete letdown.
Yeah. So,
is this karma for KD?
Broken Brooklyn was not able to get past Game 7. Okay.
Did he say karma?
Yeah, he said karma.
Is he quoting Stephen A. Smith too?
Yeah, I guess.
Nah, I was more talking about when he left for the Cavs.
KD never left for the Cavs.
For the Warriors. Not bad.
He is all over the place.
Yeah, you are all over the place,
All right,
Chirk.
continue.
But
Now you have Turk's permission.
going
Berserk.
when Brooklyn, was fully healthy and they had Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. Because of the nature of their big three, I was calling the Nets a super team.
Okay.
Is that too much of a stretch to say?
It's not, but the issue at hand when it comes to the Nets was there's one thing that was going to take that team down, and that was injuries. And that's exactly what took them down, was injuries.
Yep.
Took them down. And, let's be real here. 2 of the 3 guys are injury prone. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
And James Harden.
James Harden's not injury prone, but he suffered an injury. So that's just another a nail in the coffin there that was the end of the Nets season.
So you're not blaming any of this on Steve Nash's lack of coaching experience?
No. He is as much as the coach of the Nets as Tyronn Lue was of the Cavs. Okay, he's there just standing there and doing nothing.
Tyronn Lue's on the Clippers now.
Is it a
and
similar?
he's doing nothing there too. They're down 0-2.
What about Kerr
Yeah,
on like the Warriors? Like almost like you take the game out of the coach's hand most of the time when you got that much stars. That many stars. Like,
Yeah,
who can
that-
just score.
That makes sense.
And
I'll say Kerr when KD was there, but Kerr before KD was a little bit more involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been, since with this version of the Warriors, I would say Kerr is much more involved.
Yeah.
But I do completely understand what you're saying, and I do not disagree.
Just looking at the headlines after this game, I see something that says possibly Nets may listen to trade offers for Kyrie Irving. Is that a possibility, would you think, or is that just
No.
after game hype?
I don't know.
It's just a way to talk about stuff, a way to have a conversation, keep going. Really, I mean, sure. Is it possible if he's not happy? Yeah, okay, because we've seen it before. You know, we saw him, drive his way out of here in Cleveland. Then we saw his very unceremonious exit in Boston. So it's very possible.
I just feel like
that
it
it
would
could happen,
be
but
anybody.
I don't think it's
how about a
it's
return?
probable.
How about a return?
Yeah, okay.
A return?
not coming
You mean
back.
a return to? No.
Give him Colin Sexton. Let's do it. The Hawks took down the Sixers
I was so
in
happy.
7 games.
Ben Simmons.
so-
What? Ben Simmons is broken.
They're thinking.
Simple.
Cleveland's thinking about getting him. They're serious.
What?
No, they should. No.
There's
No,
really serious
no.
talk.
Church,
I saw this
no.
today.
I know. I saw this too, and I wrote something about it. You should read it. It's a terrible idea.
You see what Kendrick Perkins said?
What did he
that
say?
like Ben Simmons should go to like more of a playmaking forward role, like Sabonis is. He would fit much better.
Oh yeah.
Do you know the way to make Ben Simmons work? Are you ready? Put him on a team with 4 3-point shooters. Okay?
Cleveland.
Because he can't
Stop.
shoot.
He. I told
To
you.
be fair, I did see on Facebook the other day that Rob, who is no longer here, but I did see that he was making that exact same argument.
I told you guys this last week that Ben
so
Simmons.
I'm just saying it's not only Chirk.
Yeah.
I told you guys this last week that Ben Simmons.
For those who love peanut butter.
I do love peanut butter.
What?
I didn't even know who that was.
I don't know what's going on there, but that's
I
fun.
don't know what happened.
That was.
It was Chirk.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Let's
see.
give Chirk for that.
Yeah,
Anyways, back to this Ben Simmons Cavs nightmare scenario. The problem with Ben Simmons is he can't shoot. He needs to be on a team with multiple shooters. Okay?
And he's afraid to shoot.
I feel like he
Hold on.
can shoot. Like we've seen videos of it.
99% of his shots in his career are from 2-point range, and I think about 75% of those are inside 10 feet. Okay, so he doesn't have any range. So hear me out.
Bernie's
Let's pretend the Cavs make a move for Ben Simmons,
Bernie's got him.
and you.
No.
I don't know what's going on in there.
What are you talking about,
I'm gonna
Church?
I'm gonna keep pushing ahead. Let's say they have to trade Darius Garland for him, right? Because they're gonna want something for him,
No.
right?
No.
So they have let's say they move on Darius Garland and somebody else in some draft picks. So what you're going to have is you're going to have Colin Sexton, who's a very ball-dominant player. You're going to have Ben Simmons, who can't shoot. And you're going to have Jared Allen, who also can't shoot. Isaac Okoro, who is offensively limited yet has some upside. You are saying 2 ball-dominant guys. One of them can't shoot. Colin Sexton's ball-dominant. It's not going to work. It's going to be an absolute nightmare.
What about the draft, though?
What about the draft?
What? We'll get into the draft later,
All right.
Chirk.
All right.
Save that. But I was watching Game 7 up between the Hawks and 76ers. Ben Simmons, you probably know what play I'm about to refer to. He's
Oh, when he passed it? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's someone who was completely afraid to shoot the ball. And, we
I'm
can
just
talk-
like, what the heck are you doing? Dunk it. Do a layup.
Anticipating
Something.
the foul, doesn't want to shoot. free throws.
He's afraid of shooting, but we gotta head to a break here. We come back, we're gonna talk about a little bit about the draft lottery. Kemba Walker on the move, and a whole bunch more basketball for segment 3. And then Kramer's gonna love it. Stick around.
When Frank De Lorenzo returned home from Iraq, things did not go smoothly.
We are the talk of the land. AllSportsCleveland.com. Valley View, Cleveland.
All right, we are back here on So What's the Catch?
And we are keeping the basketball discussion going.
And are we going to the draft yet or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing draft right now. The draft lottery happened last night. The Cavs got the 3rd overall pick. I'm surprised. I thought they would have got screwed and got stuck with 9th.
And that's why we should get Ben Simmons, trade Sexton, and get Get it in the first round.
No.
Yes.
Do you want a team that could somehow shoots worse? That's what you do.
Okay, sure.
No, we could get a good shooter in the draft.
Do you want us to make the playoffs or no?
That's how we do it.
Okay.
You pass to the guy. It's like Tobias Hicks.
Okay, so hold on. You said you're trading that draft pick and Colin Sexton for Ben Simmons. So who are you drafting?
Future first round pick. Not
No. Ben Simmons is not worth the number 3 overall pick.
Kevin Love, maybe Colin Sexton.
If the Philadelphia 76ers would actually accept the scrap heap of players that the Cavs need to get rid of, sure, but that's not going to happen.
So
you send them Kevin Love, send them Chetty Osman too, get them off this team, but that's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen, Chirk.
Doesn't help us win.
Chirk, I know that you have another sports show where you get very analytical.
Yeah.
But in this case, I get it. You're trying to make takes, but you're missing the mark, my friend.
I mean, there's some people who back me up on this, Ben.
And they're wrong. Those people are wrong just like you. Okay?
Well, that's subjective.
So, no, this is correct.
So, on the subject of the Cavs, we all want them to get back to being a playoff contender, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what playoff team, whether it's a team that's already been eliminated or a team that's still playing, do you think they should try to emulate to become a contender again? I have 2 choices, but I want to hear your takes first.
Well, I'll just start off because with very limited knowledge, I can just say this. Like I said earlier, are they even able to really emulate a team? They're in the position that they're in versus other teams that are in other positions. So I'm not sure that they can emulate another team.
But bingo. That's the right answer.
Yeah,
they're so far away from being relevant, and they're so far away from having anyone actually good on the team that they really can't emulate anyone yet.
All right. I'll go a little more.
A lot of teams have like a good star or at least 2.
The Cavs got none.
Like
We
Ben
have
Simmons?
nobody.
Okay, Chirk, you're the analytical one, so I want to hear your answer on this.
I wanted to say, I think there is a possibility we could do a 3-team trade as well.
Oh,
No, Chirk. I'm asking you what playoff.
Ben Simmons.
No,
Come on.
Chirk.
Why do you want Ben Simmons so bad?
I don't
know.
What?
We got a pure point guard.
No, he is not.
Darius Garland is your point guard.
Yeah.
Colin Sexton's trade bait. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what he is.
All right, he could be a point forward.
No.
Okay, so who do you guys have in the draft?
Now, deflecting the conversation.
Josh, what teams do you think that the Cavs can emulate?
So I wrote an article about this on Fanside. I said either the Memphis Grizzlies or the Phoenix Suns. Now, the reason I said Memphis is
because they got nobody?
Basically.
I mean, we're kind of in the same position they were when they drafted John Morant. They got their point guard. Mm-hmm. They had also drafted Jaren Jackson, and they'd gotten Dylan Brooks. So they had their young core, and they've just added pieces to it. They got Kyle Anderson to kind of solidify their forward position. So I think if we can emulate that where you keep the young core together and just add veteran pieces or, bring in other young players to fill in the gaps. I think that's good. And my other one,
No, what was your other team?
Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's never gonna happen.
I don't see that
Explain.
It's kind of the same reason, but the only caveat is once they brought in Chris Paul, that was kind of the piece that put him over the hump. But Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton have gotten to really form a chemistry. They brought in Cameron Payne, they brought in Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Chirk's boy, and other players that have allowed them to form their core. Yeah. They've stayed with the same coach. Like Monty Williams has been with Phoenix for a few years, and I don't remember the Grizzlies head coach's name off the top of my head, but I feel like he's been there for a few years. So based off what those two teams have done, if the Cavs can kind of emulate that, I think they can become not necessarily a championship contender. I'm not saying that, but a playoff contender.
I see what you mean, but I would take out the Suns. If I would compare, want them to emulate somebody, it would be Hawks Or maybe the Jazz, like a lesser version of the Jazz.
Okay.
The Nets
Only
was
because I feel like both our teams fit that. We're just a terrible version of it.
Do you agree with my pick on Memphis?
I agree with Memphis, just not the Suns.
Okay.
Also,
That's fair.
Also, comparable improvement would be like the Nets when they had D'Angelo Russell.
So, what are your thoughts?
So here's my thought. You used a phrase which I despise when talking about rebuilding terrible basketball teams. Do you know what that phrase is?
What's that phrase?
That phrase is young core. That is a complete BS phrase used because people are like, these are the young guys we drafted, let's stick with them. It's like, there's a certain point you realize that certain guys suck, okay? And you shouldn't be trying to build your team around them or not take people or add people because they exist. The Cavs already have a couple of those guys on the team. One being Colin Sexton. He's just not good, okay?
Right, I'm not.
Chetty Osman also
I agree
stinks.
with you on that one, Chetty Osman.
Jared Allen, he's a fine center, but they should not be paying him.
Isaac Okoro?
Let someone else pay him. Let him go.
Notice that when I was giving my take, I didn't name any specific
I
players.
know you did, but I'm just letting you know because you're not the first person or the last person to use the phrase young core. And the phrase core 4 has already been making its way around Twitter, and it's nauseating, okay? Because they're acting like Colin Sexton's this integral piece. He's not. They're also acting like Jared Allen is. He's not.
Isaac Okoro?
Isaac Okoro might be. You know who Isaac Okoro is? Isaac Okoro is Tayshaun Prince, okay? That's who he is. He's going to be an offensively challenged defensive specialist. And that's fine. That's good.
Tayshaun made it work.
Yeah, Tayshaun.
He had played for a very long time, but you know what? He's not someone you go, this is our franchise cornerstone. You do that, that is the absolute staple of bad teams.
And Nance, I think, is a good bench player for a bit.
Who?
Larry Nance Jr.?
Larry Nance Jr. is a good bench player.
I'd trade him too.
But I would trade him. I love Larry Nance Jr. I have Larry Nance Jr. jersey. I have bobbleheads of him and his father. Okay? I'm a big fan of his. However,
we can trade him for.
Don't say
Ben Simmons.
He's at the point in his career, in where the Cavs are as a team, that him being on the team makes no sense. Same with Kevin Love. Okay, they just need to basically tear this thing down to the studs and start over. Okay, even the vaunted Sexland combo. You can tear that down and move on from that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say.
I love Darius Garland. I think he's really good. However, he should not prevent them from making moves to make the team better.
Yeah. I get your argument is completely valid, and to a certain extent, I do agree. But I just think if they wanted. There's playoff teams
there's nothing to get close to them. They're so far away from being relevant.
I'm just saying a low playoff team. I'm not saying championship contender.
Let's focus on them just not getting blown up by 50 points a couple times a year.
With the third pick, who do you guys really want the Cavs to draft?
Okay.
I'll tell mine after you guys.
I would actually like Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga.
Okay.
I would prefer him, but also when it comes to drafts, especially in basketball, I got 3 words: best player available.
Okay. I expected that from you. I did.
I'm with him on that one.
Oh, okay.
Ben Simmons.
No, I actually don't. I want to get him through a 3-team deal.
Well, because, all right, Detroit and Houston, I feel like they're going to get, like, Cade, of course, and Jalen Suggs. I feel that I would either want Green or Mobley.
Who's the
I think Houston's going to take Mobley number 2.
They might, but I feel like they already got Christian Woods at the big, but he could play the 4, so.
Yeah.
Should we get the other
way.
G League player?
What did he say?
Should we get the other G League player?
What
That's what he said.
Kuminga?
Yeah.
If he's available.
Yeah.
The best player available, honestly.
I just think Jalen Suggs and Darius Garland would be a good pairing in the backcourt to maybe ignite something.
Just looking at what some of the different websites are saying. It's Evan Mobley, like you said, and Jalen Suggs, but then also Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the G League guy.
Evan related to.
I would take Green or Mobley.
But several teams have coaching vacancies around the league. You got like Dallas, you have Orlando, Indiana, New Orleans, Portland. I'm sure I'm missing others. But Boston, thank you. Which team sounds like the best position?
The best?
Or the most
Like to coach at?
Yeah.
You said Dallas.
There's others. Dallas, New Orleans, Orlando, Indiana.
Not Indiana or Orlando, but pretty much any of those other ones.
I'll put down.
I would have said Pelicans, but they got too much going on right now. So.
I'd probably take Pelicans off the list too because there'd be too much pressure on you to be the guy to keep Zion in town.
Yeah,
Right.
and the Pelicans might be moving out of New Orleans starting in 2024.
I don't see that happening.
To keep that whole young
The
core.
Saints owners bought the team. They're not moving them.
But for me, it's Portland because you get to coach Damian Lillard.
If he stays.
If he stays. It's a lot of these positions are contingent on that. Like, is your star player going to stay? Like,
I'd say Celtics, honestly. Celtics, and then Dallas is a close second.
So, do you think Mark Jackson will get it?
I'm rooting for Becky Hammond.
Do you think?
to get a head coaching job.
What's his name?
I agree.
Get another chance. Who was the coach that David Blatt will get another chance.
No, he's done.
So I have an NBA article here, and they have like some different people who they think are probably on a short list. Dude, let's take a look at these names,
Okay.
and see what you think, because I don't know, so you can tell me.
Yeah.
Rick Carlisle.
Oh, Carlisle.
I don't know. I'm Carlisle.
In the right system, I will say yes.
Someone say Carlisle 10 times fast.
Terry Stotts.
What was the last name he coached?
Portland.
So there's two fired coaches back to
Mike
back here.
D'Antonio.
No.
You want your team to implode? D'Antonio's your guy.
Jason Kidd.
He had
Yes.
potential in the Rockets.
I like.
Jason Kidd was so bad. He was so bad.
Seems like everybody else likes him.
I like him with the Bucks and
He was a
Nets.
disaster. There's a reason they fired him and went to Joe Prunty.
What about
Okay.
Byron Scott?
I would say with the Bucks.
Kenny
this time.
Atkinson.
Nah, you take him for just a meh hire. He's your
Steve
guy.
Clifford.
meh.
Also falls into meh.
Jack K. Vaughn.
Jacques.
Jacques.
I was saying, is that pronounced like French?
I'll be honest, I don't know who that is.
Jacques Vaughn used to be
He
a
was a
point
bench
guard.
player on the Spurs.
Lloyd Pierce.
From the Hawks.
Yeah, he got fired from the Hawks, and now.
Still don't know that much about him.
Yeah, I don't know that much about him, to be honest.
How about Becky Hammond?
Yes.
That's my.
Yes.
That, I would
Becky
take her.
Hammond's.
I think I saw she is a finalist for the Trailblazers position along with
and-
Chauncey.
Yeah.
Yep, she's a finalist. I hope she gets that job, but we got to head to a break. When we come back, we're going to have a little bit of football talk, which should get Kramer a little bit more involved.
Hey, there he is.
Six scores and the captains walk it off on opening night.
We are the talk of the land. AllSportsCleveland.com. Valley View, Cleveland.
She's the first coach to do
We
it.
are back here, and Josh, you want to do a little shout out before we get into football discussion?
Yeah, shout out to Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve. She is the first coach in WNBA history to get 250 wins with one team.
Congratulations to Cheryl Reeve. Before we go any further, I want you to know, Chirk, I have written down and placed face down my guess for your Berserker of the Week. Okay? Because I'm going to try and predict this.
All right, yeah.
Okay?
We'll get to it.
So we'll get there later. I just want you to know I have written down face down.
I already know who it is.
I think we can say that the table all agrees on this.
Yeah, we all.
So we'll find out. We'll find out later.
Throw a curveball. Who knows?
Yeah,
we got our guess. That's all we're saying.
Bridges another time. But anyways, so we're going to start off here. We had some very monumental news earlier this week with Raiders defensive end and former Brown Carl Nassib coming out as gay on his Instagram page. And in addition, he mentioned that he made a $100,000 donation to the Trevor Project, which the NFL also matched. And if you're unaware of what the Trevor Project is, it is a LGBTQ organization which helps youth stay away and prevent, keep them away from, suicide. And it's like a hotline type situation. So it's a very monumental thing, and he's the first active NFL player to come out. That's very important because while there have been other players in the past,
Like
who've come
Michael
out,
Sam.
like Michael Sam, he was
Kwame
never
Harris.
active. And there have been other players that have come out since after they've played.
And it's a big deal because the whole fact of that's the hardest thing, right? Is to be open while you're actually in the league. You're going to face probably some discrimination.
Yeah, it's going to happen, unfortunately. So, The good thing for him is he doesn't have Twitter. Okay, he has Instagram obviously, but he doesn't have Twitter.
Everything else aside, I mean, I remember he played for the Browns, but I really don't remember him as a player. Like, is he a good player?
He's a good rotational player.
Yeah,
he had 7 sacks, I think, a couple seasons ago with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so he's a good rotational player. Him playing along with other guys, he's good.
You remember him on Hard Knocks?
I do. I remember his financial lessons, which were less than stellar. But so one thing that I just wanted to hit on real quick before we move on a little bit is that I saw some people put takes out there saying that he's doing this for attention. He's doing this to make sure he doesn't get cut, or he's going to get cut anyways.
I was going to say that's going to be something people are going to say.
I heard those too.
People are going to say that he's going to get cut anyways, or he's going to get cut because of this. And I'm taking this moment to give everyone a quick history lesson about the Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. The Raiders are an organization historically who was not afraid to step outside the box, step outside of what the norms are. And in the NFL, the norm is not having gay players on your team. So they were the first team in the modern NFL to hire the first minority head coach, and that was Tom Flores. They were the first team to hire the first African-American head coach in Art Shell. They were the first team to have a female CEO of their team, and that was Amy Trask. This is not foreign waters for the Raiders.
So it sounds like out of any team it could have been, this was probably the best.
This was the best organization for him to do this as a member of, because they're not scared of the unknown. They're not scared of what flack might come from what decision happens in parts of their organization. So I think him being a member of the Raiders is the perfect situation.
Yeah, I like the Raiders. Do you like that they're in Vegas?
Of course, come on. Vegas is a party town.
He acts just like every time.
No,
Have you seen the Coliseum?
It looks beautiful.
I don't think I've asked that before.
You did.
Oh.
The Coliseum.
Sorry.
In Oakland, where the Raiders used to play and where the A's currently play. It's a dump.
Couldn't they go to Candlestick?
Candlestick doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
that's in San Francisco.
Candlestick got torn down.
Oh my God.
But speaking of stadiums, we have 2 teams who might be moving out of their current stadiums. The Chicago Bears, who currently play at Soldier Field, have submitted a bid to purchase the Arlington International Racecourse, which is, I don't remember exactly how many minutes outside of Chicago. I think it's
40.
Yep. And then the Buffalo Bills also want a new stadium.
Okay, the Bears thing is, in my opinion, a whole bunch of nothing, okay? They've been playing at Soldier Field for 80 years?
At least.
2002, they played at the Illinois College.
Because they're redoing Soldier Field.
It seems like, the better the team is, the more the city is willing to spend money on it. So, with the Bills, I could see that happening because they've been a decent team and they're going to be a decent team probably in the future.
Yeah.
With the Bears, it's like, eh.
The Bills do want to stay at Orchard Park where they are now. It's just that they want a new stadium.
I heard there was possibilities of not now, but in the past they wanted to move to Toronto.
That was just a thing that they would do.
They did the Toronto series. I am a little bit surprised that Toronto doesn't have an NFL team because
it's too close to Buffalo.
Oh,
too close to Buffalo.
But then why are the Maple Leafs and Sabres both allowed to be in the NHL?
It's a different sport. But the Highmark Stadium, formerly Ralph Wilson Stadium, Bills Stadium, is about 50 years old. So I can imagine that the fact that it's at a 50-year-old stadium and it's not an iconic stadium, they will have a much better chance of getting a new one compared to the Bears, who just completely redid theirs less than 20 years ago.
Yeah. I will say, though, I visited this Bills Stadium when my dad and I went up to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a really, I'm not going to say really nice stadium, but a fun stadium because, you got the cold air coming off of the lake, and I heard it's not fun to play at that stadium in the winter, and I heard Bills fans are some of the more passionate fans in the league.
Oh, you talking about Bills Mafia?
Yeah, Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia is awesome.
They go basically
table jumping.
They go backyard wrestling stuff.
Dude, they jump through tables. When there was a playoff game, the Bills went down to Florida, and the wall in the Walmarts in the local area. It was Bills and Jaguars, I think, and they would not sell any folding collapsible tables, so Bills fans couldn't take them to go pregame and destroy them before the game.
Did you hear about this story where the Bengals defeated the Ravens, and that sent the Bills into the playoffs.
Yeah, it was that year.
So they donated. Bills Mafia donated a bunch of money to Andy Dalton's foundation.
Yeah, it was that same year.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Was that the-
I think that's a really heartwarming
that was,
story.
That was when Tyrod was on the team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really heartwarming story.
But, you know, Bills Mafia, very intense group of fans. I mean,
It's like ECW.
I would love to go to a Bills game at their current stadium.
you know, it'd be electric, a Bills-Browns playoff game.
Yes.
The tailgating for that.
I was hoping for that this year.
Where at?
I was
Like there or here?
Either or.
Because
Either or would be mayhem, but in the best way possible.
I would love that. Can we please get Bills Browns in the AFC divisional round or AFC championship?
Think our fans
that'd probably be the only game I go to.
Let's say the Bills and Browns could meet in the Super Bowl. How much fun would that be?
I feel like it's going to be more fun before the game just to watch the fans than the actual game would be good. But just to watch the fans go crazy, that'll be fun for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think?
You know how Cleveland get down.
You think Cleveland could go? Who do you think will win between the Bills versus
Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Versus Bills Mafia, who wins?
Dog
Ben
pound-
Simmons.
Yeah, Dog Pounder Bills Mafia.
I think Mikhail Nah.
But changing subjects a little bit, we got two quarterbacks who are not happy with their teams, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Although Russell Wilson says he never formally asked for a trade.
And Aaron Rodgers just renewed his golf club membership. It's funny how when like a situation like this comes up, they look at everything, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was being reported a couple days ago. They're like, well, he's staying in Green Bay. He renewed his membership. Like it's going to be that hard for Tom Brady to get a new membership in a new town.
Yeah.
What about Baker?
What about
Baker?
We're not talking about.
We're not talking about Chirk. We could be talking about like.
We can talk about swimming, and you're talking about Baker Mayfield.
Yes, we could be talking about the Olympics, and all of a sudden we just hear, "Hey, did you hear about Ben Simmons?"
No, the Olympics though are pretty good this year though. For real.
The Olympics haven't started yet.
Never change, Shirk. Never change.
I need a break.
Chirk, we love you just the way you are.
I see.
Aaron Rodgers.
I see you've added a hat to your outfit today. In addition to the sunglasses, Shirk's now rocking a hat.
Yeah, Chirk's now.
And it's cocked to the side.
And it says All-Star for.
Brooklyn.
It's the Brooklyn All-Star. Did you go to that?
No, I didn't go to that. I got it from a friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool hat. But Aaron Rodgers, is he actually going to play this year?
No, I don't think so.
Think he's done?
Yep. I think he's done in Green Bay. I think he should go to Denver.
I think he wants to win a Super Bowl.
He already did.
No, he wants to win one more.
I think he should. If he wants to go win a Super Bowl, I think he should trade the elongated G of Green Bay for the horse head in Denver, Colorado.
I mean, let's be real here. Speaking about the Broncos, that's a really good team. It sucks to be a team that's a quarterback away, but the Denver Broncos are a quarterback away. Let's be real here. They have a real quarterback in that team. That team goes from playoff hopeful to legit contender.
You don't think Drew Lock's the answer?
No.
Drew Lock stinks.
Their receiver core is nothing to sneeze at. They have I think Deshaun Hamilton is still there.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jerry Jeudy.
Mm-hmm. They just don't have anyone to give him the ball. Now you get Aaron Rodgers over there?
Right.
Can we officially call Paxton Lynch a bust?
Yeah, he's been a bust.
We could have done that before he was drafted.
Yeah.
Wow.
He stunk.
Yeah.
I was never a Paxton Lynch believer.
Yeah, I was.
I like Paxton Lynch.
He
Why?
likes all the
tell me why. Tell me why.
He was an underdog. He came from like a college from nowhere.
What college?
It wasn't like it was Memphis. Right?
It was Memphis.
Yeah, it was Memphis.
I was just never a believer in him. Never was. Maybe it's that he looked like a villain in a cartoon with that weird mustache thing he had going on. But I just never trusted him.
He was the same height as Brock Osweiler.
That's also another problem. Too tall.
I wanted to believe in Paxton Lynch and just never could.
I never did. Never believed in Paxton Lynch. Never believed in Sam Darnold or Mark Sanchez.
Or Christian Ponder.
Never believed in Christian Ponder or Blaine Gabbert. I have a huge list of guys I never
E.J.
believed in.
Wentz?
Or Jake Locker.
Jake Locker was also a no. What was that?
Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz, I didn't, then I did, then I didn't again.
What about E.J.
Okay,
Manuel?
that's fair. I did
E.J.
say that.
Yeah.
EJ
right?
Manuel as chair guest?
Never EJ Manuel. He stunk. Well, we gotta head to a break, then I'm gonna come back with hour 2. We're gonna bring it back with baseball as we are still keeping it going here on So What's the Catch?
You don't have to wait.
Bishop.
And we are back with So What's the Catch as
Sure, get us with a quick commercial break on that one.
All right. Yeah, I'll let you guys know ahead of time.
That would help.
I gotta start doing that, like do a countdown when we're about to go back on.
Oh, it's all good, but we're starting off hour 2 with a little baseball talk, and pure coincidence today. I came in here wearing my New York Mets shirt. Josh came today wearing a Atlanta Braves shirt, and they happen to be playing each other tonight.
Yep, and I'm also doing this because the Hawks are playing the Milwaukee Bucks, and I don't have anything Atlanta Hawks.
You know who the Braves beat in the World Series?
So, Kramer, who you going with?
We're not going to talk about that, jerk.
Ben Simmons.
Makes sense.
And
I got Mikal Bridges.
Okay, so all right, let's start this off. So we've been mentioning this the past couple weeks, but foreign substances in pitchers in baseball. They started checking pitchers for them this week, and not going too well at all.
The game takes longer.
Didn't the player literally pull down his pants?
Yes, that happened last night. So Max Scherzer was getting checked for the 3rd time in 4 innings, and he was just like, he was annoyed the first time, more annoyed the second time. The 3rd time, he just took his hat and his glove, threw it at him, started to take off his pants, and stopped. And the umpire was just like, no. And only for later in the day, Sergio Romo to do the exact same thing, but actually pull his pants down. Okay. Pitchers are really not very happy with the whole checking thing.
No, they're not.
Which I understand the need to do something about what was happening. However, doing it in the middle of the season, not great.
Well, plus as a pitcher, you have this whole routine, and you're, that keeps throwing you off every time they come out and they check.
Yeah.
Is the game taking longer? Is the same?
Normally they don't, but the last one where Scherzer was upset was in the middle of an inning. So normally they just check after the inning when they're coming off the field. This one, they went on, and the umpires had a little conference, then they called him over, and he's just like, are you kidding?
Didn't that start a whole ruckus with Phillies manager Joe Girardi also?
It did, because that last one, I think Girardi called for the inspection, and as Scherzer was walking off the mound, he was just kind of staring him down, just like, dude, what are you doing? And Girardi got all upset, and he ended up getting ejected. So,
yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. Joe Girardi could be a little bit of a loudmouth sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how the adjustments go, because they just started a couple days ago, and it seems like, day 2 of checking for foreign substances not going that well.
No.
Also, there's been injuries again this week.
Yeah.
There's always injuries.
Yeah, but now the Indians' pitching rotation is screwed.
It seems like the injuries have gotten even worse.
Yeah. Can anyone name one of the starting pitchers in the rotation right now?
Nope.
Eli Morgan?
Justin Bieber?
Josh named one. It was Eli Morgan, and I'm pretty sure no one
Eli
outside
Morgan.
of the room here knows who the heck Eli Morgan even is.
Who is? I don't know.
Yeah, Eli Morgan. Oh, how about J.C. Mejia?
Or
Cal Quantrill?
Tristan McKenzie?
AJ, you know any of these?
Nobody? Okay, yeah. See, I just named the entire pitching rotation.
Is Tristan still pitching?
Tristan McKenzie?
McKenzie? I think he was optioned again, but I'm not sure. They keep doing the option send up, send down thing with him.
Yeah, but
it doesn't bode well for the rest of the season.
It doesn't.
Should they be sellers now at the trade deadline?
Let's see how things go. They have a relatively. It's kind of an up and down schedule. They played the Twins, and they got the Tigers, then the Rays, and the Royals, and then they're at the All-Star break.
And then coming out of the All-Star break, they're at Oakland. Oh, you forgot to mention we also have the Astros in there.
While we're on this, I actually got a couple questions.
All right.
Okay.
So, just real quick, let me preface this by saying that there's been this situation with the Indians and their TV rights this year, to where normally I would watch them on what was Sports Time Ohio, and it's gotten changed, and there's no longer, the only way you can get it right now, my understanding, is on cable, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
So I don't have
think
cable, so I haven't really been able to watch a whole lot of this. I've checked out the games I can here and there, but I've maybe seen like 5 games all season. Coming into this season, I would have expected the Twins to be good. So what's going on with the Twins, first of all?
They're exposed for the frauds they've been in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just looking, and they're bottom of the division.
Yeah, they're not very good.
No, they're not.
And I've never thought they've been good in the first place. I thought they were absolute frauds. I thought they scored a whole bunch of runs, and their pitching rotation was just good enough to win games, but they weren't actually good. They would win games like 8-7 or 10-9.
And then the Indians are what, second place right now?
Yeah, second place, 3 games back of the White Sox.
And how about them White Sox?
White Sox are good. I don't know how they're doing that. They don't got Eli Jimenez. They don't have Nick Madrigal. He's out for the year. Or Luis Roberts still there.
I've definitely seen them building the past couple of years, but I didn't expect it to be this early.
Who's second place?
The Indians.
Indians are in second place.
And then the Royals are, I think the Royals are third.
But what I'm getting at, though, is at second place this early, I think it's still too early to say be sellers at the trade deadline.
Yes and no, and you can say, and here's why. You don't know when these guys are going to come back to their rotation. And with these unknown pitchers that they're having to turn to, if things go south quickly, and there's a very likely possibility that happens, because a combination of pitchers who are unproven and maybe not even good, combined with an offense that's been pretty lethargic overall all season, you might end up in a spot where you find yourself 7-8 games back of the White Sox in like a week and a half.
You know what it is, too, is just I'm so used to the Indians having pitching depth.
Yeah.
That's the Indians' hallmark, to where it's still a foreign concept to me, and it doesn't make it any easier that I haven't watched all the games. If I'd been following it, I'd be with you. But, it throws me off to think of them being so hard up for pitchers.
Right.
Yeah, and what I've proposed is sort of a soft sell, and that is, trade guys like Eddie Rosario, Cesar Hernandez, guys they signed to 1-year deals, because that would just clear up some room. Somebody will give something for them, and then you can play your young guys to give them a little bit more experience and find out what they are.
So, you have a theory about the Indians, don't you?
Yeah, I think they're relocating.
Yeah. So, your reasoning is, 1, they have torn the roster down to pretty much nothing.
That's 1.
2, they have not renewed their lease at Progressive Field, and that expires 2023.
Correct.
And 3, they keep delaying the name change.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to expand any more on that, or not really?
Not really. There's not really much to expand on. I mean, you mentioned it all. I mean, I don't see them. I think they're gonna get moved. I think they get sold and moved because they keep delaying the name change.
Well, supposedly they've got that down to a certain list. If that changes this off season and they actually come up with a name by next season, would you change your thoughts at all?
If they actually tell us what their new name's going to be, or yeah, sure, that would change my idea. But they keep pushing it back. They haven't even mentioned anything about the lease at Progressive Field.
Yeah, no, that's the scarier thing.
When they ask about it, they don't comment. So that's never a good sign.
Yeah, that's scary.
You know what the crazy part is? They opened it up to full capacity, and the 2 games I was at, granted, that was a Tuesday game and a Wednesday game, but there was maybe 12,000 fans at most.
Welcome to baseball in Cleveland.
And that doesn't look good because, right now with things just now reopening, everything that's open is selling out. So, for us to still struggle selling those games after it's rough.
Browns, when it becomes football time, Browns fans Browns games, all 8 of them are going to be sold out, no problem.
It's going to be packed full house, but it's not a baseball town. I think the sooner people come to realize that Cleveland's not a baseball town.
And baseball, but no matter what city you go to, baseball's not the same as football, probably.
Right.
Well, there might be a few exceptions. There's a few exceptions.
There are exceptions.
I would say the majority.
I would push. The one city I can push back on you with is St. Louis.
I said there's exceptions.
Because they don't have football. But let's be real here. Let's talk about New York. It's the Yankees. Let's talk about.
There's exceptions.
Let's talk about Boston. It's the Patriots.
It's not the Celtics?
It's not the Celtics, it's the Patriots.
What about in Philly? Is it the Eagles?
Philly is the Eagles. But, I mean, so Boston is the Patriots and Red Sox. New York is the Yankees.
How about here?
Browns.
Browns all day
here.
long.
Detroit is the Lions. Then you go to
Minnesota, Vikings.
I'm just trying to put things in perspective that I don't think there's ever going to be a situation where the Indians are going to outsell the Browns.
No way.
Well, there was,
in the 90s.
Yeah, they weren't a team.
But it'll never be the same.
That'll never happen. It was the perfect storm of events.
Yeah.
And it's been the perfect storm of events to keep them from getting good attendance since.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen, even when it's been a full stadium at Progressive Field, I don't think I've ever seen that top row of seats filled except for the World Series and the playoff run.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it either. The closest it came was when I first moved here. I went to a Indians-Yankees game, and when the Yankees are in town, that place always gets pretty packed.
I was watching MLB special, like a documentary the other night, and it was like along the lines of Dark Side of Football, where they were just talking about different baseball scandals, and they did a whole episode on the dynasty that almost was the 1990 Cleveland Indians.
Oh, on MLB Network. I know what you're talking about.
And it was another situation where it was so strange for me to see our teams from the outside, see how other people from other states look at our team, really. And they just look at the Indians as a team that had a lot of chances and just screwed everyone up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It happened.
I don't know about you guys, but I love going back and watching championship films, because for me, I just love watching the story of, like, this team, whatever team you want to talk about, the St. Louis Blues, the Kansas City Chiefs.
It matters what team, though, for me, because I would like that if it's not a team I'm invested in, yes, but I would not want to watch the Indians lose again.
No, I'm not talking about going back and watching an old series. I just mean like a championship.
Just in general?
Yeah.
All championships?
Like, for me, I got the Kansas City Chiefs film from when they won Super Bowl 54. Not because it was the Kansas City Chiefs, but because it was Super Bowl, or it was the 100th year of the NFL. So that held significance. But
it's got to be an iconic moment for me. So it's got to be something like Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. It's got to be Kirk Gibson walking off Dennis Eckersley. It's got to be something like that for me to tune in and watch something that's old, something that's iconic. When you just say Kirk Gibson, what do you think of? You think he's coming up and going to take Dennis Eckersley yard for the first ever walk-off hit.
Right. I get that. I just enjoy going back and watching old games no matter what.
Do you know why they called it a walk-off hit? Because Kirk Gibson couldn't run because he had two bad legs. And with that, we're going into commercial. When we come back, we got some combat sports here.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this
to allsportscleveland.com, the home of the NEL Christmas Classic.
Welcome back here on So What's the Catch? And now we're going to pass it off to AJ here as we talk about some combat sports.
All right.
I don't know who any of these people are.
And I do.
Javante Davis and Vasily Lomachenko.
Yes, they're not fighting each other. I just want to clarify that first. They would have if Javante didn't move up. But yes, Javante is fighting pay-per-view Saturday against Mario Barrio, who is the undefeated...
I'm sorry, what is this man's name?
That's an awesome name.
That's a great
Mario
name.
Barrios.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His nickname is El Kukui, so we call him that.
Oh, he's stealing Tony Ferguson's nickname.
No, I'm sorry. I take that back. His name is El Azteca.
Okay, I was going to say, what?
El Azteca. Yeah, they're fighting at 140. It should be fun. Javante has a lot of knockout power. He's actually, his knockout rate is up there with heavyweights at 98%.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Mario he's still young. This could elevate his career if he wins. Me personally, I got Javante. Now the next fight, Vasily Lomachenko, a great fighter. He's coming off a loss. He lost all his belts to Timothy Lopez, who is now you could say undisputed champion. It's still controversy if he has one more belt to go, whatever. This should be a good fight too. Both fights should really live up to the hype, be good. It's a comeback fight for Lomachenko. I just want to see them both do good. Want to see a good fight. I kind of want to see somebody get knocked out too.
Yeah.
just the blood, just to knock out.
Yeah.
TKO.
I said knockout.
Yeah, TKO and knockout are not the same thing.
I don't want to see referee stoppage. I want to see, he's on the floor.
You want to see Drago, Apollo Creed, and Rocky IV.
Not that excessive, but something like that.
It's close.
Close enough, yeah.
9 yards of the 10 yards of that.
Yeah, not if he dies, he dies. But
I still can't believe what Deontay Wilder said, that he actually wants to kill someone.
That man's crazy, and good luck to him.
Here's a question, though. Don't you think there's probably more people in combat sports who feel that way and just don't say it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a violent sport.
Yeah.
I mean, even some... Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Playmakers.
What?
Huh?
Playmakers?
I don't think I have.
I don't know what it is.
It's a show from almost 20 years ago that's not worth watching, is what it is.
How old do
It
you
showed you
think we
behind
are?
the scenes.
I mean,
I am loving
me.
I am just loving this dynamic of every time Church says something, James is there to just shoot it down.
So everyone here is familiar with volleyball. He's the guy just setting it up on the other side just going, nope! Like it!
I kind of wish I wasn't on the show so I could just listen to this. But we also had a WWE pay-per-view for the weekend. It was hell in a cell. I'm not going to go through all the matches because there were just too many on the
card. The highlights.
You had Bobby Lashley retain his title via surprise roll-up on Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns retained his Universal title against Rey Mysterio. And Bianca Belair retained her SmackDown Women's Championship.
So everybody retained?
Yes, all the champions retained their titles.
Okay.
Okay. But staying with WWE, but moving to a different thing. So on Friday, July 23rd, SmackDown's going to be coming to town for as part of their return to live shows with fans. This is going to be the third time WWE has come to Cleveland since September 10th, 2016, which was UFC 203.
I think I might have been there.
Wait, my question is, why has the WWE been coming to Cleveland so much, and the UFC hasn't?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or just it's just a general question. Anybody can answer that.
I don't know.
The biggest thing everything has to do with money. You can't really sell it. Like the only time I feel UFC will come here is if they have a champion from Cleveland.
Yeah, that's why they came to Cleveland, was because it was Steve A's first title defense.
Yeah. Other than that, if you don't have a champion like from that home or that city, why go there?
UFC has gone to plenty of cities multiple times.
Okay.
And
give me a list.
Dallas, Chicago,
Boston,
Atlanta.
Okay. So you just named some of the biggest cities in the entire country.
Big market
all
cities.
those cities have something else. Did you just say Montana?
Yes.
Can we cut his mic?
Church, what city in Montana would Dana White bring the Octagon to?
Butte.
No idea.
Never heard of it.
Billings.
Yeah, it's just those are big marketplaces. Like you go to any other, like all the sports teams there are big. So
I was at UFC 203 when it came here, when it was here in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the greatest days of my life. It was packed house. Even before the pay-per-view or any of the fights started, we were already getting a "Here we go, Brownie" this chant. It was fantastic. And since then, I'm like, I want the Octagon to come back to Cleveland.
Those cities you named, were there championship fights on those cards?
Yeah, but there were the champions who were defending their belts weren't necessarily from those cities.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and they've done fight nights across other cities.
Well, here's another angle when it comes to money, though. Like, if you go to a UFC fight, what do you think the cheapest tickets are?
My friend had to spend like $100 for a ticket.
Also capacity.
Because just looking at the tickets on sale for wrestling, they're $20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely more affordable, and in an area like Ohio, that definitely matters.
Right, I get that, and I'm not comparing UFC and wrestling is like comparing apples to oranges. I totally get that. One's sports entertainment, one of the most devastating sports in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe the most devastating, maybe. But you could tell there was a fan base for the UFC, even though it was Stipe in the main event.
Pretty big, like, MMA state. A lot of people don't know. There's a lot of MMA gyms like everywhere.
Right.
A lot of people do MMA. It was just like the only place you could really sell it, like, and have the venue is the Rocket Mortgage, and that just comes down to like capacity.
Right. So
we don't hold that.
And availability.
Right.
So that's all. I'm just saying I would love to see the UFC come back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how it can come back to Cleveland? I have 2 words for you. Are you ready? Sports gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Explain.
Sports gambling would bring it back here
You see how
it'd
they're
be
always
more
in
money.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Why do you think everything's always in Vegas? Sports gambling. People go there and they bet on the event. People go there and they spend tons of money because they can go bet on the event and go to the event.
Yeah.
That's how you get the big people to come into town. It's not about the local people. Local people, sure, get the ones that come, that's great. It's getting the out-of-town people to come in,
Right.
spend tons of money at the event and gamble as well. That is how you get them to come.
Right. I will say, though, that since UFC has returned to live crowds, they've done pay-per-views in Jacksonville, which I wouldn't say Jacksonville's like a big city.
They're fairly big market.
But it's Florida, and then Florida's
Right.
the Thunderdome.
And
so.
then, what?
Florida's the Thunderdome. The
Oh.
rules.
That's what their WWE is called, where they're doing their shows right now.
I
It's
don't
called
care what they call it, but I'm just saying, I'm making a joke. Keep going.
Anyway, and then 262, I want to say was... Where was 262?
I don't remember.
Oh, shoot.
I don't remember being used.
Oh, 262, I believe, was in Florida? And 263, I know, was in Arizona.
262.
Thank you, Google.
Yeah, thank you, Google.
Houston.
Oh, yep, UFC 262 was in Houston. So.
Speaking of places where the rules don't matter, Houston.
Well, weather's also an issue too, because all these cities you've been naming are all fairly warm cities year round.
Yeah, but the UFC is in arenas. They
But
don't do
still, I mean, people don't want to come to Cleveland in the winter.
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of factors.
Period.
I mean, period. They don't want to come stay at a hotel here. They don't want to come hang out for a day.
Not to get too off topic, but along the same line, did anyone see the conversation they had about Milwaukee on ESPN? How people were just bashing Milwaukee?
I did not.
I did not, no.
Saying, oh, I don't want to go to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's boring. Milwaukee stinks. I'm praying that the Clippers and the Hawks win because I don't want to go to Milwaukee and Phoenix for the finals. If it's in Milwaukee, I won't go. They were saying stuff like that.
Well, what's wrong with Phoenix?
Yeah, what's wrong with
Phoenix is cool.
Yeah,
I was just there.
Yeah,
I
I'd
would
rather
love
have
to-
Phoenix and the Hawks. I don't want to see Milwaukee.
Yeah,
It just-
my
it
preference
sounds
would
boring.
be Atlanta and Phoenix, or Phoenix or Atlanta and the Clippers.
What would happen if would the NBA be mad if Milwaukee won?
I think so.
Location matters, though.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
It's just people complaining, so they'd rather go to other places in their mind that are cooler to them.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
you hear Milwaukee, it just sounds boring.
Don't you remember how often they would complain when the Cavs go to the finals? Oh, we got to go to Cleveland for the finals again. It was not. Oh, we got to go to Cleveland and Golden State. It's we got to go to Cleveland for the finals again.
What is Wisconsin really even known for?
Cheese.
Oh yeah, cheese curds.
Beer.
And Packers.
And the Brewers.
And the Bucks.
Beer, cheese, and Packers. That's it.
Yep, beer, cheese, and the Packers. And also the Wisconsin Badgers.
Laverne and Shirley.
Anyway, I think it's time for the random Cleveland Sports Athlete of the Week.
Okay, we can throw this in now. All right. It's a
We're on
football
top.
player.
All right. Football.
Football player. His middle name is Anthony, and he was born in 1977. All right.
Anthony Henry.
His middle name is Anthony.
Good try, Jerk.
That'd make him 44 years old.
So he was born in Nebraska. He went to college at North Dakota and was undrafted in 2002.
No idea.
So you're dropping out already?
No, I'm not dropping out. I'm just saying S so far.
After going undrafted, he was signed by the Omaha Beef of the Indoor Football League as a free agent.
There's a team called the Omaha Beef.
Yes.
What?
And after that, he signed with the Browns, was with the team from 2002 to 2004, but he also played for the Rhein Fire of NFL Europe in the spring of 03.
I feel like Jerk is gonna get it. So.
Yeah, I have a feeling
You
Jerk
said
is.
NFL Europe. He's the only one that talks about that.
He was a tight end in offensive guard, but for the purposes of this, he was a tight end.
Tight end.
Steve Hyden?
It is not Steve Hyden. He played for the Browns for 2 years in 03 and 04 before playing 3 years in Denver to end his career at the age of 31.
I have no idea.
Jackson?
No.
I don't know.
He finished his career with the Browns with a whopping 5 receptions for 38 yards, including 3 first downs. Notice I
You
didn't say
definitely find
touchdowns.
some obscure players.
That's the point.
That's what makes it fun.
I really.
That's what makes it hard.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be hard.
It's
That one I
supposed.
can't answer. Was he a fullback too, number 80?
He was not Aaron Shea.
Ah, I was gonna. It
Not Kellen Winslow.
No, because he only played 2 years for the team.
wasn't Aaron Shea.
It was not Aaron Shea.
I didn't really follow the Browns in 2002.
I was
You
too.
were
I was
5.
gonna say, how old were you in 2002?
I was like 5 or
Yeah.
6.
Okay, let me just tell you, man, this guy was a beast as the 3rd tight end on that Browns team in Madden back in the day. Anyone? Any guesses?
Nope.
We're gonna head to a commercial.
Ben
When we come
Simmons.
back, I reveal the answer.
I think I just jumped.
Lives here on allsportscleveland.com. Talk of the land. Valley View, Cleveland.
We are back here on So What's the Catch? And
Here on All Sports Cleveland.
yes, on All Sports Cleveland. Any last guesses on who this is?
Aaron Shea is obscure.
He's not really obscure, but it's not Aaron Shea. Anyone else?
Nope.
Nope.
Before my time.
All right, we have the legend, 6'6", Chad Mustard is the answer.
Who?
Chad Mustard.
I would.
I could have. I never would have gotten it.
Is it mustard spelled like how it sounds?
It's Chad Mustard spelled like the condiment.
I've never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
What a fitting player name to be in Cleveland, where there's a war about which mustard is better, Ballpark or Bertman's. Okay, perfect name for the perfect city.
Yep.
Mustard.
Yes.
And that was like the.
I have no clue which mustard is better. I
What-
just put whichever mustard at the thing on my
I'm
burger.
not really a mustard guy.
Well, that means you're wrong. So give us a hockey update.
So, the Vegas Golden Knights are trailing in their series 3-2.
Still here.
Yep. Did you ever actually formally pick a team?
You know what team I picked? I picked it the other day with you while we were working on the project. I
Yeah.
said I am now switching because he told me I had to switch. It's like my 4th team now, but I'm going with that Canadian team. Whatever.
The Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, so you did pick the Canadiens.
Yes, he did.
So boldly make the proclamation into the microphone for us.
Canadians.
Thank you. The Kramer curse has been activated.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I am officially putting the juju on it. This is me sprinkling juju all over the Canadians.
So
Stay away from our team.
should we, the rest of us start saying go Knights go?
No, we were saying that before. but-
Yeah, now you're just hopping on the bandwagon.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Montreal Canadiens are up 3-2. They will play Game 6 at Bell Center tomorrow night, with Montreal having the opportunity to close out the series and go to the Cup final. And then tonight from Nassau Coliseum, we've got the New York Islanders trying to stave off elimination after they got spanked 8-0 against the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. If the Lightning win, they will go to the Stanley Cup final, where they will look to repeat as Stanley Cup champions.
When was the last repeat champion?
2016 and 2017, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
All right. Now, the game between the Islanders and Lightning could be pretty interesting because this could be the final game ever at the Nassau Coliseum.
Yep.
And so if they win, it'll be an electric atmosphere. If they lose, you might get a end of 95 Browns season type scenario where everyone just tearing out all the seats and destroying the place as they leave.
Well, they're not leaving New York. They're just
They're going to a different stadium, but this
Yeah.
this could be the last game ever there.
That's correct.
So they have so much history, so many memories. Fans might be like, well, I had season tickets here. I'm taking my seat with me. People might be sneaking in like wrenches into the place, like they did with the Brown Stadium.
I was wondering, do you think we should ever do a segment of obscure stadiums?
That might be fun.
We could.
Yeah, I like that idea. Okay.
Like if anyone remembers any like stadium that like closed in like 1995 or something.
All right, Church, since you brought it up, give us the inaugural obscure stadium.
For the Washington football team.
Which stadium?
Which stadium?
In Washington. Oh.
Yeah. Are you just saying FedEx Field?
No.
Are you talking about RFK?
Yes.
Yeah. It's still standing.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there?
Yeah.
Oh, they just left it.
Yeah, DC United, the soccer team, used to play there.
Yeah.
And then when the Nationals first moved there from Montreal, they played their games there too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I stumped myself there.
You're fine.
No,
Yeah.
But, like the Richfield Coliseum, for example.
Like the Coliseum in Richfield would have been one that's gone now, or the Palace of Auburn Hills in Detroit, or the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit, Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Joe Louis Arena in Detroit.
Yep, I was just about to say Joe Louis Arena.
What was that?
Where the Atlanta Hawks played?
Phillips Arena?
Before that.
I don't remember where they played before that.
Yeah, I don't remember. They might have played in St. Louis before that.
I'm not sure, but the Alamo Dome in San Antonio would be another one.
I thought they still use the Alamo Dome for like for like college basketball national championships.
They might, but I mean, I'm not sure what it's used for anymore. But
I know in King of the Hill they drank Alamo beer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. One of my favorite shows of all time. Every time you put a King of the Hill meme on Facebook, I like it within the first 10 seconds.
I've noticed that. As soon as
And it is quite often.
It is quite often, and King of the Hill's one of my favorite shows.
Dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Okay, not to get too far off into King of the Hill discussion, but what else we got here? We have, what city should get an NHL team next?
Yeah, so
Cleveland.
We already talked about this last week and we said no.
I tried to convince everybody about that, but I got shot down.
It's not happening.
So, Seattle is getting an NHL team. You guys don't like the logo, but you love the name Kraken.
It's great.
And then before that, we had the Vegas Golden Knights. So, what city should get an NHL team next?
My question is, what city does not have an NHL team?
Do you want me to go through all 32 teams?
No, not all 30. Just the cities that don't have a team.
Just hit them with a couple highlights.
So, Kansas City doesn't have one. New Orleans doesn't have one. Atlanta used to, but they do not anymore.
You know who doesn't have one?
Oklahoma City doesn't have one.
Yep, Oklahoma City. Trying to think of what other.
Milwaukee.
Yep, Milwaukee.
No, that's a no. I don't want to see Milwaukee with another team.
There's a reason Milwaukee doesn't have an NHL team now, and it's because of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Out of the cities you said, New Orleans sounds the best.
The only problem I see is the temperature of New Orleans being an issue with the ice.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What others?
They figured it out in Phoenix. I think they can figure it out there.
Yeah.
And Vegas.
I don't think the Coyotes are going to be staying in Arizona much longer.
And I have the answer that everyone needs to know. The answer is Hartford, Connecticut.
Yes!
The Whales.
Bring back the Whalers!
Big brass bonanza.
Yeah, I spent some time up there. I like Hartford. So, yeah, take it back up there.
Okay, Hartford.
Bring back the Hartford.
What about Gothenburg, Sweden?
What?
You never said it had to be America.
Okay.
And there could be a Canadian.
So I want the Gothenburg, Sweden, Swedes or something.
Okay.
Ooh.
Can you put a team
What
in Mexico?
about Little Rock, Arkansas?
Nah.
How come they don't have any professional sports teams?
They don't need it.
Or how about Quebec City?
Yes.
Bring back the Nordiques.
Yes, bring back the Nordiques.
Or Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota,
Idaho.
Iowa.
I'm surprised Iowa doesn't have one.
Yeah, why doesn't Iowa have one? That is
It's a football state.
Why don't they have a football team?
Yeah, why don't they have
College football state.
Yeah, with the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones.
Idaho too.
What about Idaho?
Boise? No,
Who would want to go to Idaho?
Fans of potatoes. That's who would go.
And Boise State Bronco fans.
Wasn't one of the guys on the cover of NCAA? I forget what his name was.
Kellen Moore?
Yes. No, it wasn't Kellen Moore. It was like NCAA 08.
Pretty sure that was Kellen Moore.
He had like a beard.
Oh, this segment.
And we will find out who that was in 2 seconds. You have Memento. The answer is...
This segment has fallen flat on its face.
It really has.
We should have a segment where Charles just names anything he wants.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I've never heard
It
of.
is Jared Zabransky.
Who?
Exactly.
Yep.
I feel like
That makes sense.
I agree with AJ. We should just have a segment where Chirk can talk about whatever he wants.
All right, Chirk. You have the floor for 3 more minutes.
Nah.
No, come on. Nope. Come on. Nope. We're going to have a tactic. I like this.
What's on your mind, Chirk?
I don't know.
It has. Do you want to bust out the Berserker of the Week now? We can do that.
We can do that one.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, Berserker of the Week.
Berserker of the Week. Let's put a drum roll. You're going to be surprised. It is Trae Young.
Oh! Wow!
Wow. Why is it Trae Young?
I mean, he's just been out there, like, just how he's been shooting the lights out. I think he's been...
You guys know what that means?
This was my guess.
Yeah, the table was wrong. We
I
did
know you
have
guys didn't
Ben
guess that.
Simmons wrote down.
Well, he wasn't
I
wrong.
need to
He
hear more.
said
I need to hear
something
more
with a T.
rumor. I need to hear more, like, confirmation before I get him as Berserker.
You said Ben Simmons 100 times today.
Yeah, you.
I did, but
He threw a curveball, you know.
I wanted to throw a curveball.
You did. You didn't throw a curveball. You threw us an Ethos pitch,
You
okay?
know what that means now? It means the Hawks are losing tonight.
Yeah, it means the Hawks are losing
No, they
tonight.
are.
Good
They
job,
got the
Chirk.
They got the Berserk charm.
What?
Or,
They got
The Berserk charm?
So just because there's a couple of minutes left, talking about Trae Young, I just looked him up, right? Looked him up on Google, and the first thing that came up was an article talking about how he's a foul baiter, and that they're going to be changing rules because of him specifically and a few other players. But
James Harden.
yeah, so your Berserker of the Week, man, he's a cheat.
I mean, what did Eddie Guerrero say?
Yeah,
Game changing, that's what he is.
Eddie Guerrero said.
The real discussion we need to have about Mr. Trae Young is that dude needs to buzz his hair. That's the discussion we need to have about Trae Young.
He should grow it out more.
No! He runs for 5 minutes and it thins out. It's like if LeBron grew out his hair. Not good.
No.
Can he?
I don't know.
His hair's thin.
Or if who else would have? Or Carlos Boozer?
Maybe Kevin Durant right now because his
What?
hair's looking a little thin too.
What about Carlos Boozer?
I remember him having.
He's not even playing anymore.
He's an analyst for NBA TV.
Wait, he is?
Yes.
That was also going to be my response. Is Carlos Boozer's on NBA TV?
Yes, he is. I was watching post-game of Clippers Suns last night on NBA TV.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised. Who else was on that show? We got a minute. Kill.
Uh,
Carlos Boozer, who else was it?
Brendan Haywood on that show specifically?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I don't remember who else was on it, but Karan Butler's been on that show. Brendan Haywood's been on that show.
Baron Davis?
So,
Baron Davis, I think, has been on there.
do they only hire ex-NBA players who are bald?
I mean, Baron Davis is not bald.
The other three were.
Dennis Scott.
Oh, Zach LaVine is committed to the USA team.
Oh, good for Zach LaVine.
Did Kevin Love make that?
Yes, he did.
I just know if Kevin Love don't rejuvenate his career, can we please let him go?
Yes, can we please trade Kevin Love so he can actually go to a contender and be like, oh, this is what it's like to be in the playoffs again.
You can pull a Blake Griffin on us. I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't care. I don't think anyone in Cleveland would care if he pulled a Blake Griffin on this. But we're going to head into our final break. When we come back, we're going to go to our quiz from Kramer here. Then we're going to have a little conversation about superstitions.
What's for Kids Cleveland was started in 1981 by local radio station.
Cleveland.com.
Quiz show.
Welcome back here on So What's the Catch. Jeremy's got a quiz for everyone because apparently he's waving the white flag on trying to stump me.
I mean, I guess we could still we will still see if we stump you during this, but I'm going to give a chance for everybody to guess.
Mustard. Who's what's his name?
Chad Mustard. I will keep score on this. How's that sound?
Yeah.
I've just never been very good at.
So it is Kramer quiz time, and the whole idea this week was I found a quiz that supposedly has easy, medium, and very hard questions all mixed in together.
All right.
So we'll see how this one does. What is the highest scoring game in NFL history? So start off right with a stumper.
Point total?
point total.
Oh, Super Bowl 52.
104.
Oh.
So it is. The answer is one specific team. Like which team had
Kansas
the?
City.
Oh, Philly.
Wrong.
Green Bay?
Wrong.
I knew that.
Cleveland.
Washington Redskins had a 72-point game in 1966.
That team doesn't exist anymore.
Football team.
Yep. Well, they did that. How many Super Bowls have the Green Bay Packers won?
5.
5.
For some reason, this says 4.
Is it 4?
Their most
Might be
recent
4.
Their most recent one was Super Bowl.
We'll have to look that up on Google to
45.
double check. This quiz is saying 4.
Might be 4.
Moving on real quick. How many times have the Dallas Cowboys been to the Super Bowl?
Ben?
I want to.
Correct.
I guessed.
AJ nailed it.
How many you get?
5. I said 5.
Yeah.
Which NFL team has the highest salary cap?
It is 4, by the way, for Green Bay.
Yeah, I just looked up 2. Highest salary?
Highest salary cap?
New York Giants.
No.
Cowboys?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No and no.
Patriots.
No, it is the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
What?
Currently?
Okay.
This is 2021 quiz, so that's why, and we did decide that Packers was right?
Yeah, 4 was right.
Yeah, 4.
So it looks correct. It looks like we're good.
Yeah.
What are the 2 NFL conferences?
National and American.
NFC and AFC.
All right, there you go. I said there were some easy ones. What is the only NFL team to complete a perfect season?
Miami Dolphins. 1972.
Who won the Super Bowl in 2010?
Green Bay Packers.
No, that's the Saints.
Nope.
2010.
Nope, it's
That was Chirk. Chirk nailed it.
I hate this rule because the Packers won that Super Bowl in 2010. The Saints were 2009.
2011 season. The 2009-2010 season was the Saints.
I will disagree with you vehemently.
Right.
What was the New York Jets' original name?
Titans.
Got one.
Got one.
Wait, what?
Yep, they
They
were
were
Titans of
originally
New
the
York.
New York Titans.
Yep.
Who is the head coach currently of the Chicago Bears?
Matt Nagy.
Yeah, Matt
It is
Nagy.
Jim Fassel.
Who was the first player to be drafted in the NFL draft in 1936?
Oh, jeez.
This is real history here.
What?
Anybody have even a remote guess?
Paul Horing.
Jay Berwanger.
Wow, I should have known that. I watched a video about this. He never actually played a snap.
I knew he never played.
The original draft, Mr. Berwanger.
He would never actually played.
Now here's another one, so let's just see who can, this is an easy one, see who can get this out quickest. What month is the NFL draft?
March.
April. April.
It is technically, it would be, well, Josh and AJ both got it right because the answer on this one says April/May.
I said April. Oh, April.
How many this is another easy one in theory. How many Super Bowls have the Kansas City Chiefs won?
2.
It's correct. Super Bowl, that's retarded.
Hey!
I'm sorry. Wow, I'm sorry.
That is it. That's my trigger word.
Yeah, no, I slipped up. What was the first year that the Miami Dolphins won a Super Bowl?
1972.
Yeah, 72.
It was before I was born, I know that.
1973. You were so close.
How did they...
Oh,
72, 73.
72, 73.
Yeah, no, you did it again.
Yeah.
That should be your pet peeve.
Yeah, that should be your pet peeve.
It is.
Season year?
Okay, fine. I'll do that as my pet peeve. Because
We'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
Who made a Super Bowl appearance and halftime show during the 2021 Super Bowl?
What?
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd is correct.
Yeah, The Weeknd.
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
Which
you are.
team holds the record for making the most Super Bowl appearances?
Patriots.
Patriots is correct. AJ's running away with this one.
Yeah.
He's making a comeback.
What? Yeah, this one is a real easy one.
At least I'm scoring and doing well.
What team is represented by Philadelphia?
The Eagles.
That was like a three-way tie.
The Steagles?
Steagles.
I remember. I've read about the Steagles.
What most So the question that slipped me up, and I shouldn't have said that, but the question that slipped me up, I'm going to go ahead and ask it. What Super Bowl is 3 X's?
30.
That was the question. The most simple question I have ever heard. That's what I should have stuck with, simple. What most recent year did the New Orleans Saints win the Super Bowl?
2009.
2009, 2010.
2010.
Nope.
How many points is a touchdown?
6.
Ooh, wow, that's it. I was thinking
2,
something
huh?
else. I was thinking something else.
Yeah, you got us on that one. How quick you were.
How many career points did Joe Montana have?
A lot.
Now we're getting into some esoteric stuff.
Oh.
You want to throw out a guess on number?
3,500.
Surprisingly close.
3,600.
34 is the closest.
I didn't even guess, but
3,409.
Huh.
What Motown singer tried out for the Detroit Lions in 1970?
Kid Rock?
1970.
1970 Motown.
Oh, never mind.
I can also give a slight hint. They tried out with Hall of Fame tight end Charlie Sanders.
Motown.
I don't really know Motown too much.
So that's like soul music.
Yeah.
What does the name
know
start with?
An M.
I know the
Michael
genre.
Jackson?
I just don't really listen
I know
to
bands, but I don't know.
Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye. That would have been a great football player,
it. I
too.
don't think I've ever heard you make that sound.
That was the sound that they talk about in that special. But anyways,
Oh, I know it.
how many rushing yards has Adrian Peterson made in his career?
Oh, God.
12,500.
More than that.
13,000.
More than that.
14,000.
A little less than that.
13,900.
14,498.
So close.
14,496.
14,820.
Oh.
It would have been real hard to get that specifically right, unless you know, like, follow Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
But what record does Jerry Rice hold in his career?
Most receiving yards.
Yeah, most receiving yards.
That's correct. What team won 3 Super Bowls in the 1990s?
Cowboys.
Correct.
Yep, that was the Cowboy Dynasty.
What year was the first ever Super Bowl played?
64.
No.
63.
Chirk was right with 7. It is 1967.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, duh.
The Los Angeles Rams recently relocated to Los Angeles from what city?
St. Louis.
Cleveland. They were called the Cleveland Rams.
Originally, they were the Cleveland Rams.
Yep.
Once upon a time. I'm trying to skip some of these easy ones.
I feel like I'm right on my money today.
Which wide receiver is the highest scoring in NFL history? Great name, too.
Randy Moss.
No.
Highest scoring.
Highest scoring.
Highest scoring wide receiver.
Tim Brown.
Flipper Anderson.
Never would have got that.
Yeah, never would have got that.
Okay, here's one that I feel like this is a more recent one. This will help. Who is the heaviest player to play in the NFL? It's not Kramer. In 2021.
Heaviest player in 2021?
2021.
It's got to be an offensive lineman or defensive lineman.
Oh.
I do not. I'm looking at the answer. I do not know this player. It's not a name that sticks out to me.
So it's not going to be a name I get.
I'm trying to think.
I'll give you a weight if that helps at all. 410 pounds is how big this dude is.
I think I know.
Oh, was it Aaron Gibson?
It is Aaron Gibson. Shirk nailed it.
But
I thought you were playing. I thought this was an active player question. That's why it threw me off.
Aaron Gibson was from like.
He played in the 90s and early 2000s.
The way the question is worded, it says who is the heaviest player. So what I think they were asking is as of this year.
Oh, okay.
So nobody
Got it.
since then has played that's heavier.
Oh.
But you are right. I saw that wrong.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Shirk, you still get the point.
Yeah, you still get it.
I got a good trivia question.
Go ahead.
What wide receiver didn't wear gloves? The last wide receiver to not just be known for not wearing.
Fred Biletnikoff.
No.
Fred Biletnikoff. I'm gonna answer one more time. Fred Biletnikoff.
He played with the Raiders.
Fred Biletnikoff.
He was played in the Raiders and played also with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Fred? Something to cough.
His number is 81.
Oh.
80 what?
81.
Mouse?
No, it's not AB.
He played in the 90s.
Okay.
No, he didn't go to
No,
Notre
not
Dame. He said Notre Dame. I don't know who was in Notre Dame.
No, it's not Jordy Nelson.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Fred Biletnikoff.
Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Desmond Howard?
It's Tim Brown.
Tim Brown.
Desmond Howard played for the Packers.
It was Tim Brown.
I don't know. He said Heisman Trophy winner. I just picked a Heisman Trophy winner.
Here's one I like that we can start to wrap this up with. But what is the shortest kick ever missed by an NFL kicker?
3 yards.
No.
Extra point.
2.
No.
5 yards.
Closer,
4.
but no.
6.
6 yard. It says a 6 yard field goal was missed by Don Cockcroft.
What year?
He played for the Browns?
I don't think so. I'm looking for one more. Yeah, but the last couple are real easy ones, so let me just look for another hard one. True or false? We got a true or false question.
Okay.
This was once an NFL team. The Dayton Triangles.
True.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think I did good, audience.
I do think I did well.
It's not my wheelhouse with football, but I did all right.
All right, here are the scores. In fourth, it is Chirk with 3 points. In third, it is Josh with 4. AJ had 5. And the king of trivia with 10.
Wait, hold on. I was second?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll take second.
So, are we getting into...
And James still won.
Trivia king.
He had 10?
I had 10.
Y'all let him get 10?
Hey, it's on you too.
They got more football knowledge though.
So we will try again next week. Next week I'm just gonna look for obscure sports trivia in general, and I'm gonna leave it for any sport. So
okay, cool.
We'll see what we get next week.
Unfortunately, I will not be here next week.
So it will not be Josh.
All right, so we got a couple minutes. Superstitions.
Yeah. Do you guys have any superstitions?
Jersey, definitely. The every Browns jersey I have, if I wear one at the first game of the season and they win, the first game I'm wearing it and they win, I have to wear that same Brown shirt for the rest of the season.
I'm that same way.
Game.
Once the Browns win a game while I'm wearing a specific t-shirt, sweatshirt, hat, and all that, I'm wearing the same combination.
Yeah, I had the same one on all last year, and I'm thinking it's not this one. It's one that's even worse than this. It's all dinged up and it's got holes in it, and I think I'll probably have that on for the first game this season.
The other thing I do is I go back and watch games where teams from the opponent city loses, or I'll go back and just watch old games from when the Browns win, because that's also part of my superstition.
So I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Okay. Okay.
No, I usually just wear a jersey now that I have one, because I waited about 15 years to buy one. So it's a jersey, it's a hat.
I just think it's fun to discuss superstitions and stuff.
I don't really have any.
You know what I mean? Chirk, superstitions?
Meditate, but I think
meditate?
That's a unique answer.
I like it.
Okay.
But I did remember when I was younger, I tried doing the LeBron chalk thing.
LeBron chop?
Chalk.
Oh! I was gonna say, what the heck is LeBron chop?
It's like this piece of meat. It's called LeBron. You get it at your local steakhouse.
Obscure celebrations is also true.
They should do that.
Obscure celebration.
They should do that.
Yeah, but that's gonna wrap it up.
Hey, real quick.
Oh,
okay. Real quick.
Oh,
hey guys, you know that I bought a toupee for $1 the other day?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, bought a toupee for $1. It was a small price toupee.
Huh. Oh my God.
I'm out, boys.
All right, that's gonna do it for us do it all for us here on So What's the Catch on All Sports Cleveland. We'll be back next week without Josh, which means best show ever. Just kidding. So
no, he's
check
not.
us out next week.
And welcome back to the lovely Avon, Ohio, Joe Ferment Stadium, where the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs will be challenging the Avon Eagles here in Avon.